Hey, this is Phil Lilley, Lilley's Landing Resort in Marina on Lake Taneycomo. Jackson and I are going to do one cast today. It is Friday the 28th of April. We are right up here at the Long Dock by Short Creek. And I'm going to try something I've never done before. We are going to drift a shiner under a float. A shiner. We got a bunch of shiners in. A pretty good size fish. And I'm gonna hook them on the back just like that. I'm gonna fish them in this area because this is a really good area for browns. And I'm gonna fish them about 10 feet deep. It's about 12 to 14 feet deep through here. So they're going to be down close to the bottom. Okay. We got some rain coming in, so I don't think it's going to rain very hard. Yeah, that's about right. Problem is, I can't cast it when it's out like that. So I'm going to kind of throw it out there and then move the boat. Fishing it towards the, well, my float is just barely floating. That's not good. It's a weighted float. Not sure if that's going to work or not. It's the only float I brought. Oh man. I didn't bring this. I've got a split shot on it, and I didn't think it was that heavy. It's not sinking totally. Just barely at the surface. So I'm gonna leave it. My plan was just let it drift out there, then throw a jig, because I don't like just to drift stuff. See, I don't even know. This thing's really going to have to take off for me to know that I've got a bite. So I think I'm just going to have to man it. I picked up my rod with braid on it. See, now it's... Oh, I know what's happening. That shiner's pulling it under. That's what it is. I didn't think about that. Well, with all the shad coming through, it's, you know, this isn't a shad, but it's about the same size, same color, you know, everything, like shad. So he's really wanting to pull that thing down. See, it's floating right now. So Blake said that some guys, it was yesterday, came in and bought some minnows, and he said they accidentally got a shiner in with the minnows. And they threw that shiner out and they immediately caught a brown. So they came back and bought a dozen shiners today. I did not hear if they did any good or not. And I don't know how they were fishing them, but this makes the most sense to me. Oh, see, that's fish. That was a fish. See, that's the other thing. I don't know. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna have to let that really run with it. Like, I think I'm getting another bite. Pretty sure. Yeah, I'm getting a bite. The rainbows are gonna try to eat this too. They'll have a hard time getting it in their mouth, but a bigger rainbow won't. What I'm counting on is a pretty good sized brown or rainbow eating it. But those are definitely bites. That shiner is really trying to, he is really trying to swim to the bottom. That's a good thing. I'm just pulling the float back up after he gets about a foot under the water, so I can kind of keep track of him. So, you know what? My shiner died, I think. He is all beat up. That's okay. He's not swimming now. I don't know. Okay, we're backing off this. Could be dragging the bottom too. Here we go. Now it's drifting really good. I was hoping just to be able to lay the rod down and throw a jig, but not working. This is definitely fishing for bigger fish. And when you fish for bigger fish, you usually don't get as many bites. So. This is kind of the hot spot. This little area right here. I need for something to really take off with this. I am. Okay, I'm going to quit here in a second and go back up. Yeah, like right now. Okay, I'm going to try this again. I'm going to go up and we're going to drift. Go same spot. Maybe get a little closer to the bluff. Not fish quite as deep. And put on another shiner because this one's, he's been beat up. I mean, he's been skinned up. Something tried to aid him, probably a small rainbow. What's up? Oh, I'm sorry. I stepped on your tail. I'm sorry. I don't think I've ever done that before. All right, I'm going to adjust the float. Shiners typically, they're pretty easy to kill. They're hard to keep alive. Okay. Well, I got this one about 7 feet deep. I'm able to cast this one, so I'm going to cast it over closer to the bank. I might adjust it as we're going. Ooh. This is different, that's for sure. I've got 4-pound line tied onto the end of the braid. Tracy and Steve Dickey they're fishing a stretch from what we call the corner down past us. Looked like they were fishing pink worms. I think that's been the staple of the guides here lately, is the old pink worm under a float. He's got my float 2 feet under the surface. It's just right here. I can see it, so I got a pretty straight line from my rod tip to the float, so the only other thing I could do would be to kill the shiner and just let it float. I just had, looked like a small rainbow chase my shiner to the surface when I pulled it up here just then. I could reel it up a little more. Could take my split shot off. They are still running 35 megawatts, so just a couple thousand, 2,500 CFS, not much. I guess I could look on the app and maybe see what they're going to do this weekend. Oh, they're not going to shut it off. Looks like 35 all day, except a blast of 160 at 10 a.m. So at 35 until 9, then 60, then 160, and then back to 60, and so 160, that's 3 units. Oh, why in the world are they going to do that? I have a very, very ambitious shiner on. Let's try it. If he's wanting to swim to the bottom, my concern, you know, in putting a split shot on is I wanted to keep him down instead of letting him swim to the surface. But if he's wanting to swim down, we'll let him swim down with no split. That might change this. Okay, now he's not swimming at all. This is really aggravating. That's why I just need to bring my whole tackle bag when I come out. Okay, well, no, he didn't swim down. I see him. The fish still can come up and get him. He's about 2 feet under the water. Okay, let's try this. Since all of a sudden he has quit trying to swim, let's just put a new one on. You know, throwing him out and letting him hit the water like that, slap the water like that, it's probably enough to kill him if they land right. Oh, come on. That one's not swimming either. You know, I heard him slap when he landed on the water. I heard him slap. Maybe it stuns him. I'll give him a second. Maybe he'll come to. I don't see him now. My problem is I don't have a lot of time to go out to come out here and fish and experiment and then bring something to you guys and put it on one cast and say, you know, I've been trying this and it's working, so here, go fish this. You usually see me trying things for the first time, and most of the times things flop, so. With all of our spring projects and me being gone, I just can't get out and fish that much. Well, you know what? I can probably throw a jig for the last 5 minutes or so. I got a sculpin jig with an orange head. I think it's a 16th. Yeah, if I catch fish on either one. This is what happens when you try to fish two rods. You usually don't catch a fish on either rod. I don't think you could drift a shiner with no float with this kind of current. It's just way too slow. I think it would go to the bottom, get moss on it, get snagged up. Way too easy. But I think with the right float and the right split shot, you get that figured out. I think it'd work. One more cast, I gotta go. I would love to be out fishing this evening. It would be really nice. We'll try one more. All right, no fish today. We'll try something else tomorrow. Thanks for watching. See you tomorrow.